Hey, we've been in Afghanistan 19 years. This is the 19th year, huh? Fantastic. And so I think we're making some good progress there. Jesus. And, well, guess what? This is from Reuters. This is from today. It says foreign troops to quit Afghanistan in 18 months under draft deal, Taliban sources. This is from Reuters. Taliban sources. Taliban officials said U.S. negotiators on Saturday agreed on a draft peace pact setting out the withdrawal of foreign troops from Afghanistan within 18 months. So 18 months, that would make it a 20-year-old war.
I mean, they probably just want to hit the mark at this point. Like,
You want to
might as well.
2 decades of war
It's so ridiculous.
in one country.
Ugh.
Straight. Wow. Imagine that.
It's depressing to just digest. I mean,
just imagine living there. You're in war the whole time, your whole life. You're born 20 years ago. Your whole life, you don't know anything but war.
You could have been born while it was going on and then have turned old enough to fight in it.
Yeah, right? That's what the Onion did, something like that, about how kid born at 9/11 now takes his dad's post in Afghanistan or something like that. The details of the draft were given to Reuters by Taliban sources at the end of 6 days of talks with U.S. Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad in Qatar, aimed at ending the war more than 17 years since American-led forces invaded Afghanistan. It stipulates that troops would leave within 18 months of the agreement being signed, but nothing is agreed until everything is agreed, and everything must include an intra-Afghan dialogue and comprehensive ceasefire. Okay. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Saturday wrote on Twitter that he had received encouraging news from Khalilzad about the talks. The U.S. is serious about pursuing peace, preventing Afghanistan from continuing to be a space for international terrorism and bringing forces home, Pompeo tweeted. It was not clear whether the draft described by the Taliban sources was acceptable to both sides when it could be completed and signed. According to the sources, the hardline Islamic group gave assurances that Afghanistan will not be allowed to be used by al-Qaeda and Islamic State militants to attack the United States and its allies. That's a key early demand of Washington. They said the deal included a ceasefire provision, but they had yet to confirm a timeline and would only open talks with Afghan representatives once a truce was implemented. Up until now, the Taliban has repeatedly rejected the Afghan government's offer of holding talks, preferring instead to talk directly to the U.S. side, which it regards as its main enemy. So the Taliban is separate from the Afghan government. The Afghan government is what the United States is propping up. And so the Taliban just wanted to talk to the United States. So I don't want to talk to their puppet. I want to talk to them. Okay. In 18 months, if the foreign forces are withdrawn and ceasefire is implemented, then other aspects of the peace process can be put into action, a Taliban source said, quoting from a portion of the draft. More talks on the draft are expected in February, again in the Qatari capital, Doha, the Taliban sources said. So that's some kind of good news. It's they're just, as soon as we get rid of this one, they'll just start another war. I mean, they're not stopping. The war machine is not stopping. So, wow, those poor people in Afghanistan. Jesus Christ. Their whole life. Can you imagine being a kid? Their whole life, people, landmines, whatever. So there you go. I don't know. Have any comment on that? That's good news. We'll see what. Fingers crossed. We'll wait for the February talks, I guess.
Yeah.
20 years. It's guaranteed to go on for at least 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things you hope for the best, and it's one of those things you can't. What's the old saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Yeah.
Of course, I hope this goes somewhere, but I'm certainly not going to bank on it. Unfortunately, it's
20 years.
20 years.
20 years. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to overthrow the government in Venezuela and fix everything in a weekend. We're announcing our live dates for 2019. We're going to Chicago and Portland, Seattle, New York, all over the country. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all our tickets to all our shows. It'll be right underneath there, too. Please become a patron if you like our content and help support the show. You can become a patron for $5 a month, and we give you hours of bonus material. And make sure you're subscribed. They unsubscribe people every day. I'm not kidding. Make sure you're subscribed and click that bell so they give you a notice when we drop a video. It's the only thing we can do to fight back against the bastards. Thanks for your support.